Imagine a component, something so fundamental, so deeply embedded in, well, everything we build, that it's basically invisible. We're talking about a J-bolt. It doesn't exactly grab the headlines, does it? But what if I told you this? Like, unassuming L-shaped bit of metal, absolutely crucial for anchoring everything from giant wind turbines to the foundations of the newest data centers. What if it's actually the heart of a huge, steadily growing global industry, one projected to be worth nearly $2 billion? Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're not just scratching the surface, we are properly digging into the global J-Bolt's market size, share, and forecast. Our insights, they come straight from a detailed report by Cognitive Market Research, and our mission for you today is to uncover the fascinating trends, the surprising scale, really, and the forces driving this very specific market across the world. We want to help you connect the dots. From this seemingly simple fastener to the bigger picture of global development and economic health. Okay, so let's kick things off straight away with the global view, set the stage a bit. This isn't just some niche product. It's indispensable. The report, it shows that back in 2021, the global J-Bolts market pulled in a pretty impressive 988.391 million US dollars in revenue. But here's where it gets really interesting. That number, it's projected to climb, first hitting about 1.2 billion USD by 2025, and then, get this, a staggering 1796.84 million USD by 2033. We're looking at a steady compound annual growth rate, the COGR, of 5.107% over that whole period. So a market for J-Bolts growing over 5% a year, nearly doubling in just over a decade. What's really driving this? I mean, this seemingly basic but obviously critical industry. Is it just more building everywhere, or is something else going on? New applications, maybe?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just, general construction picking up. And that's what's quite fascinating here. While the J-Bolt itself is, well, it's a simple piece of hardware fundamentally, its demand is directly linked to some of the biggest global development trends happening right now. The report points to three main drivers, but it's more nuanced than just saying industrial expansion.
Mm.
Think about the huge global push for green energy. You need specialized high-strength J-bolts for anchoring those massive wind turbine towers, right? And extensive solar panel arrays, too. Then there's the rapid build-out of, like, modern logistics hubs, advanced manufacturing plants, and crucially, the data centers powering our digital lives. All of these have really strict safety and load-bearing needs. So these aren't just abstract figures floating around. They actually reflect real, concrete shifts in global investment and, the physical side of economic modernization happening everywhere.
That really does bring those numbers to life, seeing how a simple J-Bolt mirrors this complex web of global priorities. So let's drill down a bit. Where is this growth really hitting hardest? Maybe start with the established economic players. North America seems to lead the pack. In 2021, its J-Bolts market was valued at 345.937 million USD, projected to grow to nearly 595 million by 2033. That's a solid CGR of 4.621%. And the US is the giant there, right? 268 million in 2021, heading towards 455 million by 2033. But Canada and Mexico are contributing significantly too. Canada going from roughly 50 million to over 90 million, and Mexico from about 28 million to nearly 50 million. So even in these, let's say, mature economies, we're seeing steady, significant growth. It suggests it's not just about brand new construction, but also maintenance, upgrades, expansion of what's already there. It's like a market that keeps renewing itself.
Profitably. That's exactly right. The sustained growth in North America, it clearly signals strategic reinvestment. In its core industries, its critical infrastructure, it's kind of a dual thing. You've got new ambitious projects like advanced manufacturing, maybe modernized transport networks, but also the ongoing, absolutely vital maintenance and expansion of existing facilities. And that requires specific types of J-bolts. One's designed for particular challenges as like a seismic resilience on the West Coast or corrosion resistance near the coasts. So yeah, the figures reflect a healthy ongoing level of economic activity focused on long-term stability and keeping things up to date. And if you look across the pond to Europe, we see a similar picture, though maybe slightly different dynamics. Europe's J-Bolts market, valued at about 280 million USD back in 2021, is projected to hit almost 487 million by 2033. The CAGR there is 4.772%, quite similar to North America, actually. Now, Germany, as you often see in European industry, is the real powerhouse. Started at 55 million in 2021, projected to jump to over 103 million by 2033. And look at its CGR, 5.473%, the highest in Europe.
That points directly to Germany's continued strength in advanced manufacturing, automotive, and its real focus on industrial efficiency, which needs top-quality fastening solutions. But beyond Germany, the UK, France, Italy, Spain, they're all significant markets too, all showing consistent growth. Though the rates vary a bit, reflecting their own economic priorities and maybe where they are in their infrastructure cycles. For instance, the UK is projected to hit almost 70 million by 2033, Spain nearly 40 million. So it's pretty broad-based demand across the continent for these critical bits.
That's a great view of the established markets still pushing ahead. Okay, now let's shift gears. Let's look at Asia Pacific. Because the momentum here seems, well, it seems like a different story altogether, much more dynamic, maybe. This region is showing really impressive, almost explosive growth in some ways. In 2021, it was around 224 million USD, but it's expected to climb dramatically to over 456 million by 2033. And look at that CAGR. 6.105%. That's the highest regional rate we've seen. China, naturally, is huge, going from 69 million in 2021 to an estimated 143 million by 2033. But the real standout, the one that probably makes you sit up and take notice, is India. It shows one of the highest growth rates anywhere in the world. Starting at just under 32 million in 2021, but projected to hit over 71 million by 2033, that CAGR, incredible 6.944%. Wow. Japan and South Korea are also major players with substantial growth figures. So what does that kind of acceleration, particularly India's amazing pace, tell us about the bigger picture? Global industrialization, urbanization trends.
Yeah, this is really where you see the foundational role J-bolts play in physically shaping global landscapes. India's remarkable CAGR, specifically, it's not just a number on a page. It's a powerful indicator of massive infrastructure investment. Think about huge national highway projects, new rail networks, and just the speed of urbanization, all requiring new commercial, new residential building on a scale that's, well, frankly, unprecedented. China's sustained growth, that's driven by its massive manufacturing base, its Belt and Road initiatives, continued investment in high-tech infrastructure like 5G, renewables. And this level of demand, it pushes innovation too. You need J-bolts with, say, enhanced corrosion resistance for coastal projects, or specific designs maybe for modular building techniques. It reflects the unique challenges, but also the opportunities in these incredibly fast-moving markets. It's a very clear signal of where a huge chunk of the world's new construction and industrial growth is happening. And this kind of rapid development isn't just an Asia story. If you look at South America, it also presents a picture of pretty robust expansion. It's J-bolt's market.
Recorded just over 51 million USD in 2021, projected to expand to nearly 97.5 million by 2033. That's a strong CAGR of 5.456%. Brazil, being the region's largest economy, obviously leads, set to reach almost 38 million USD by 2033. But interestingly, look at Argentina. It shows a particularly strong CAGR of 6.025%. growing from about 8.5 million in 2021 to over 17 million by 2033. And other countries like Colombia, Peru, Chile, they also show solid numbers, adding significantly to the regional total. What these numbers tell us is, well, it's a direct reflection of ongoing urbanization, big investments in natural resources, energy projects, and generally modernizing key sectors like agriculture and industry across the continent. It suggests a real strategic push to strengthen their economic foundations.
It really is fascinating how these specific data points, just for J-bolts, act like this incredibly granular thermometer for global economic health and development trends. Okay, let's turn now to regions maybe considered traditionally as emerging markets. Let's start with the Middle East. The report values this region's market at about 47.4 million USD in 2021. Projected growth takes it to over 88 million by 2033. That's expanding at a respectable CCHI of 5.301%. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are definitely the key players here. Saudi Arabia contributing over 23 million by 2033. And the UAE shows a really strong CCHI of 5.938%, rising to nearly 16 million. Other nations like Turkey, Egypt, Qatar also chipping into this steady growth. So even in regions maybe not instantly associated with like heavy J-bolt manufacturing itself, the demand is clearly strong and growing, suggests some ambitious plans are underway.
Exactly. What's particularly interesting here is how these growth figures, even if the overall market size seems smaller compared to, say, North America or Asia, they reflect a very strategic focus on economic diversification in these huge, large-scale urban development projects. The UAE's strong growth, for instance, you can link that directly to its iconic mega projects. Think smart cities, advanced tourism infrastructure, expanding logistics hubs. All of that requires massive amounts of reliable fastening right from the ground up. Saudi Arabia's figures, they clearly mirror its Vision 2030 goals, which include huge new industrial zones and smart city developments like NEOM. Every major construction project, every new power plant, every factory expansion, they all need these kinds of secure anchor points. It's a very tangible sign of modernization and economic transformation in action. And finally, let's touch on Africa. Here we see immense developing potential. The J-bolts market there generated about 39.5 million USD in 2021. It's expected to grow to nearly 73 million by 2033. The CAGR is 4.744%, solid growth. South Africa leads the continent, projected to basically double from around 14.7 million in 2021 to over 29 million by 2033. That highlights its role as a key regional economic engine. Nigeria also makes a notable contribution. set to reach over 12 million USD by 2033. These figures, they're compelling indicators, really, of the increasing infrastructure development and industrial expansion that's gathering pace across parts of the African continent. This growth is often linked to resource development, urbanization, sure, but also crucial improvements in essential services, power generation, transportation. All these foundational projects just can't happen without robust anchoring solutions like J-bolts.
Okay, so after diving deep into all these numbers, region by region, really getting into the weeds of this global J-bolt market, what does it all mean for you listening?
Well, it means that even the simplest, most overlooked components, they're often incredibly powerful, sometimes surprising, signals of huge global economic activity. It's really a testament to the fact that progress, right, in all its forms, skyscrapers, renewable energy farms, high-speed rail, data centers that relies on countless hidden parts, fundamental manufacturing. The J-bolt market isn't just about little bits of metal. It's actually a kind of barometer for where the world is building, innovating, and, well, growing.
Precisely. I think this insight really underscores how interconnected industries are, even ones that seem worlds apart. You go from a tiny J-bolt, maybe designed for very specific load-bearing needs or harsh environmental conditions, all the way up to a colossal infrastructure project. It's all part of the same really intricate global economic web. These aren't just commodities. They represent the physical embodiment of economic growth, of development, and fundamentally, the human drive to build and secure things properly. The sheer scale we've talked about and the consistent growth across pretty much all regions, it just highlights how foundational these items are in shaping our physical world. It reflects innovation, too, in materials and construction methods, in long-term planning. It really shows that even the smallest components can tell a big story about our collective future.
Right. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about. Consider the overlooked components, the materials, in your own everyday life. If something as specific, and let's be honest, as unassuming as the J-bolt market can tell us so much about global development, about economic health, even about the direction of innovation, what other invisible industries might be out there, signaling the next big shifts or growth areas that we just tend to take for granted? Maybe, just maybe, the most profound insights into where we're heading aren't always in the big headlines, but hidden in the humble details all around us, just waiting for us to, well, take a deeper look.